Hello, Bible readers. It's Tuesday, August 25th. We're reading the last three chapters of Exodus, 38 through 40, and Matthew chapter 18. As we finish Exodus and see the construction of the tabernacle completed, I think a lot of Christians read this portion of Exodus and feel like God is being trapped, especially in the 21st century when so many of us experience God outside or in unexpected places, or certainly not in just one place of worship, or it just feels like a very foreign concept to say God is housed somewhere. And so I thought I'd address that a little bit. First, a word about place. While commanded by Yahweh, that is the Lord God, the work of constructing a house for the holy is human work, and it must be done well. And I think that's part of why we get as much detail and why the artisans are lifted up as they are in Exodus. The specificity and concreteness of the work protest against any tendency to make communion with God easy or spiritual. Communion with God is not just something that happens in our hearts or in our minds or in our souls, but it happens in a place. That's the point Exodus is trying to make. This God needs a place that is reserved precisely for this holiness. The creation of such a place, moreover, requires a combination of passion, generosity, competence, and devotion. The other thing is, he says, we may identify two other notes about this building project. I'll just give you the first one. There's a careful audit and accounting of funds. This fact attests once again to the unembarrassed materiality of the project. Oftentimes, I feel this way. I don't like talking about money in the church. I resist how material and common that feels, and yet this Exodus story shows, hey, religion takes materials, resources, skills, and we need them all. The other part of this then that I wanted to share was about God being willing to be with God's people. There is an assurance in this text that the very presence of God abides continually, reliably, and enduringly. Moreover, that abiding presence is not just a good idea or a personal experience one may have. Rather, it is a visible, identifiable, liturgic enactment to which the community has access and in which the community may have confidence. The visible institutional place of worship is a place of real presence. And then a lot of us, I think, feel like, well, but why are we trapping God? And I think this is important to remember. The tabernacle establishment and its claim of presence do indeed curb God's freedom to come and go at will. But it is God's own command that has authorized this arrangement. Whatever limitation on God's freedom is required by sustained cultic presence, it's a limitation growing out of God's own commitment. This conviction of centered presence is crucial to the wilderness community. This was God's idea. The people have not chosen to trap God. God is still God. And as much as we may be like, so why would God choose? God did choose to do it, to show that God is willing to be with God's people. Matthew 18 is famous for being conflict management, a conflict management direction. If you have a problem with somebody, here's what you do. If you got a problem, continue to have a problem, here's what you do next. And so a lot of churches refer to Matthew 18 for how to work through church issues. But I wanted to address have your faith like a child. And what are they really trying to get at there? What is Jesus trying to get at? It's not just be humble. It's not just be without sin. Instead, a child has no social standing whatsoever in this world. And so basically what Jesus is saying is, in this world that lifts up hierarchy and you being more important than him or her, become a nobody. Be willing to become a nobody, like a child. And that, of course, is challenging to the disciples. I'm one with my God. My God is with us, all of us, at all times and in all places.